Hey everybody, it's David McKeever, Richard Hunley here with Advance One McKeever Real Estate, and we are back with our Ask the Broker show. And today we're talking about how to handle, as an agent, how to help handle unexpected repairs that come through after the inspections. And Richard, you know, sometimes you are excited, you get into escrow, both buyer and seller are super excited because they're going to be moving forward to get the home sold, do the inspections, either the home inspection, pest inspection, and you get hit by some unexpected, major, costly, potentially costly items. So let's talk it through. How do you handle, let's go with the buyer first. How do you handle a buyer in that situation and they're just have sticker shock, so to speak?
Okay, well, in this market that we're in right now, which is totally dominated by the seller, best thing you can do is start preparing the buyer for accepting that the seller might not do any work. So do that from the very beginning.
Right.
Then when it does come up, you say, let's say there's $5,000 worth of pest work comes up or $5,000 worth of roof. The buyer's up there, oh, wow, you know, let's walk away, let's go look at houses again. Yeah, you can do that and maybe be looking for the next 2 months and not get one because you remember you got lucky and won this bid. And also, Mr. Buyer, if the seller would have countered you $5,000 more for this house, would you have accepted it? In this market, probably the answer would be yes. So why would you not accept this with this work to be done? Some of this you could probably do yourself. This $5,000 could easily be cut down to a pretty minimal amount if you do some and then hire out a little bit. And you know, if it takes you a year to do it, so what? You've got your house. The other 9 people that didn't get that offer are still out looking. So there's maybe one thing you'd tell the buyers. What else?
Well, for me in that situation, I'd get out my trusty little Rolodex. Wait, do we have those anymore? I would look at my phone and call other contractors and work quickly to get second bids. Because oftentimes a pest inspection report, the numbers are astronomically high as far as the repairs go. There's other roofing companies that you can call to get, you mentioned roof repairs. You got to go to work and you got to get other estimates, and maybe you can get that $5,000 number down to $2,800 or $3,000. So
that sort of sounds better.
Yeah, and so you go to work with for your clients to try to get them a more realistic price, because I've done that in the past where a pest inspection wants $6,500, but you can hire a general contractor to do a lot of the pest work, the dry rot and that sort of thing for a lot less. So it's your job as an agent to go above and beyond to try to get additional estimates. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and if the buyer is handy themselves, then they can do some also, like mentioned before. Now, what about, how do you handle the seller when that comes up and they maybe want to say, well, I don't want to do any of it, which nowadays they're getting away with that. In a regular market, not as much. But what would you kind of do to prepare the sellers?
Well, first and foremost, when you get their inspections back, you now have knowledge of what's wrong with your home. So if the buyers were to walk away, you now have to disclose all of that to the next set of buyers. So most likely the next set of buyers are also going to want a credit, or they're going to want it to be repaired. So it's almost like, do you deal with it now, or do you maybe deal with it later?
Right.
And so that's one option. The other option is, if the buyers walk away, now we're obviously going back on the market, which means additional weekends of showings and negotiations of different offers and that sort of thing. So it's, you can handle it now and get it done, or go back on the market.
Yeah,
that's one message.
And maybe at least you could say, and I always split it like this, an appraiser told me that when he's looking for stuff to be done, he calls for things to be done that affect value and affect health and safety. So if you kind of go at your seller with that same comment, like, you really should fix things that affect these two areas, then maybe you'll get some of it done at least, and enough done where maybe the buyer would accept it. So there's some of the things you do to kind of keep your deal together and not let it fall apart, because when it first comes out, oh, $5,000. I have one right now that's $16,000. And the buyers were so prepared, because I prepared them, that they just said, we'll take the house as it is. Let's move forward.
Nice.
So I actually got lucky, but thought I'd just blow my horn when I could. Buyers kind of need to be prepared to take a little more
right now in this marketplace
than normal.
Yeah. Now in a normal market, when it's not so seller favored, there's a lot more negotiation that obviously takes place with when it comes to making repairs, and we all know that. But,
yeah, a lot more the seller has to do.
Yep. But in this marketplace, not the case. All right, well, that ends today's show on our Ask the Broker show. This show comes out each and every Friday, so make sure if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.